Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 different models of the Zebra DelGuard and what the differences are between those models. So, development of the DelGuard began in 2009, but interestingly, the DelGuard didn't actually come out until 5 years later in 2014. So they spent 5 years trying to develop a technology that would not just reduce lead breakage, but basically eliminate it altogether. That was their goal. So in this 5 years, they tested and improved over 60 mechanism prototypes. And from what they discovered from that 5 years of testing those prototypes, they came up with this combination double spring mechanism. And it basically allows the metal part to pop out and guard against diagonal writing pressure, which is something that they, pencil companies, I guess, just really couldn't figure out until then. So they tried over 100 different combinations of this double spring mechanism to ensure that the pencil could withstand any angle or writing pressure and still have that protected lead and the no lead breakage feature. So they also kept in mind the writing feel, because obviously some of these prototypes they would come up with during that time would be more jerky than others. So the one they came up with really has a bouncy feeling. Now, here's the thing about the DelGuard. I think that you're either in a love it or hate it camp when it comes to the DelGuard. I happen to be in a love it, but I completely understand why someone would be in the hate it camp. The pencil bounces while you're using it. That is just the best way I can describe it. Now, the most bounce is in the original standard, and I'll kind of discuss the bounciness of the other models as we get to them. So let's start by talking about the standard DelGuard. So I am going to put up photos of all the different variations the standard DelGuard bodies are available in. I think that's better than showing you a bunch of pencils in packages right now. So I'll show those pictures while I'm talking for a bit. So the DelGuard Standard comes in 0.3, 0.5, and 0.7. It is inexpensive. It is the only DelGuard currently available in the American market. Although when you find it in the American market, it does not come in different sizes. It's only coming in 0.5 right now, and it only comes in a few colors. Whereas you can see in the Japanese market, it's available in 3 different tip sizes, so many different colors, and we even often have limited editions come up on our store. So if you were to find this pencil in an American big box store right now, it usually costs about $8 for the standard DelGuard. Right now, we are selling the original standard and the different variations for only $5 on our store. I decided to put it on sale for a while, and so perfectly timed with this video, I think. We also have some limited edition gradients still left from a previous limited edition release. I also put those on sale for $5. And we have, if you're watching this video close to when it comes out, we have the new matte grays lineup of DelGuard. I didn't put that one on sale. It's a new limited edition. It'll probably be gone soon, so if you want it, get it now. This is my favorite color in that lineup. This is the matte blue-gray, and I absolutely love it. So the Original standard DelGuard has a refillable eraser beneath the cap, and it is the Zebra Eraser Refill G. You can get DelGuard Lead. That is supposed to be just extra good combination with the DelGuard. Sometimes we even have it like as part of the limited edition series. So this was a Hello Kitty limited edition that I just couldn't resist but keeping some for myself when we had that. Sadly, we don't have the Hello Kitty anymore, but hopefully one of these days again soon. I'm happy with these sophisticated matte gray bodies in the meantime. I really like them. So the DelGuard Standard is the lightest of all the DelGuards in the lineup at 10 grams. And so we will talk about how it compares to the other ones as I'm talking about the other DelGuards. Before we move on to the next DelGuard in the lineup, I'm going to insert here, as I'm going to do as good of a job of it as I can of getting sort of a close-up of what I'm talking about when I talk about the DelGuard being bouncy. So here's a little clip of that for you. So the next DelGuard that came out was the DelGuard LX. The DelGuard LX was quite a bit more expensive than the standard DelGuard, but it has a metal grip and quite a bit more weight. It's 20.5 grams, so it's twice as heavy as the original DelGuard. And they also made sure to give it a lower center of gravity, so that helps make the writing more stable. Now, when you're writing with the DelGuard LX, it doesn't feel as bouncy as the DelGuard Standard. So the DelGuard LX actually quickly became my favorite pencil. I was doing a lot of computer science related studying at the time that this came out, and I just absolutely loved it. I used it for math and comp sci homework, and it was my favorite pencil. This one is a limited edition, but it's very, very similar to the black one as part of the DelGuard LX lineup. The DelGuard LX, unfortunately, it doesn't come in the extra tip sizes, so it only comes in 0.5, not the 0.3 or the 0.7. And it also has the eraser G underneath the cap. So the DelGuard and the DelGuard LX share that refill. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to tell you about this. Well, let me just compare the grip sizes for you. So it's a little heavier, a little bit thicker, and definitely longer. And did I say a little bit heavier? Why did I say that? It's twice as heavy. So both very nice pencils. Definitely the DelGuard LX feels like a more pro pencil, a more elite pencil. But you're paying the difference for that too. So something to keep in mind. And if you're just wanting to try the DelGuard, maybe go with the DelGuard Standard. But let's go over the other two DelGuard types before you have to decide that. So after the DelGuard LX came out, the DelGuard ER came out in 2017. Now the DelGuard ER is at a price point in between the Standard and the LX. So we go back in price, it's cheaper, and it has a fun feature. So first, let me just kind of show you the body differences here. Now, this one that I'm using as the model for my video, I just wanted to use one I already had open. It is from a previous limited edition series. I'm going to put up here for you what the lineup looks like right now. And you can see this one is only available in 0.5 as well. So, taking into account all the DelGuards, only the Standard comes in the 3 different tip sizes. All the others are just going to come in 0.5. So definitely a consideration for some of you. The grip is thicker than the Standard. It is more of a rubbery grip. I think that's the best way I can describe that. It doesn't have a clip. You can see it has this nubbin. It kind of reminds me of the Kurutoga rubber grip. This keeps your pencil from rolling away, but doesn't have a clip and has that rubbery grip. Now, it is called the DelGuard ER because it has this special feature with the eraser. So here's the deal. Watch closely. As you tip the pencil upside down, the eraser pops out. But not only does it pop out, as long as you're keeping the pencil upside down and using it to erase, your eraser is going to stay out. And then when you write the pencil back up, you can see the eraser hides back in there. So this isn't available in the American market. One of the reasons might be that Americans, I don't think they care as much as Japanese people do about that dirty eraser kind of sticking out while they're using the pencil. To me, this kind of, at least based on when I lived in Japan 20 years ago, which granted was a long time ago, this sort of makes sense to me in culturally in Japan that like you wouldn't have your dirty, messy eraser on the outside. But if you want quick access to it and you don't want to have to remove that cap, that's why they thought this, fun feature was an innovation that we all needed. So this is the DelGuard Type ER. Again, only available in 0.7. Another thing to say about the eraser is that in addition to coming out with this eraser feature, they also are using the Eraser Z. The Eraser Z was formulated to be more, robust. It's more of a professional eraser, supposed to have better performance. So at the same time that they were giving this eraser feature, they also were attempting to improve the eraser for you all. Now this pencil is 11.3 grams. So compared to the Standard that is 10 grams, really not that much heavier, just like 10% heavier. And these are the ones we've talked about so far, right? So it's definitely going to be lighter than your DelGuard LX. Okay, now, hopefully I thought of everything that needs to be said about the DelGuard ER. So now let's talk about the DelGuard GR. So the DelGuard GR came out in 2019, so it was just before the pandemic, baby. So it continues to use that nice eraser refill Z, the better performance eraser, and called the DelGuard GR because of the grip. Now, before I forget to tell you, The DelGuard ER, remember ER for eraser, and the DelGuard GR for grip, they are both at the same price point. So in between your standard and your LX, these two are serving, the needs somewhat in the middle. And so this DelGuard GR has a 2-layered grip with different textures on the top and bottom. So you can hold it for a long time, supposedly, without losing concentration. I think the idea is people who tend to get pain from gripping pens or pencils, this was developed for you. I know a lot of people, arthritis, find thicker barrels way more comfortable. So it might be something you want to try if, that sounds like you. So again, recommended for if you're writing a lot. So even if you don't have like arthritis, but you're doing a ton of studying or writing notes and lectures, recommended for that. And of course, always true that pain varies from person to person. So there are people that are going to say, hey, I get pain from thicker barrels and I prefer thinner barrels. Makes total sense. It's just person specific. So, keep that in mind. So this one has a thicker diameter than all the others I've shown so far. Kind of line these up for you. And this has a weight of 15.5 grams, so it, weight-wise, is going to be right in the middle of your standard DelGuard and your DelGuard LX. Okay, finally, we're going to get into the fifth and final DelGuard. Now, this is the DelGuard Plus 2C. I'm going to show you the whole lineup here. Now, the DelGuard Plus 2C is actually a DelGuard plus a multi-pin. So if you're somebody who really likes that DelGuard feature, but you also like multi-pins, they came out with something for you. So the DelGuard Plus 2C uses Sudati refills. So Sudati is an emulsion ink. It's super smooth, and it comes pre-filled with Sudati inks in black and red and 0.7. So let me do a little swatch for you. So this is Sudati ink. It is so smooth. I almost feel like it's slippery, if that makes sense. Just glides. But here's the thing. Here's my hack. This is the exciting secret thing about the DelGuard Plus 2C, and that is that you can put Sarasa Select refills in it, which I do. So in mine right now, I have Sarasa Select in 0.4 brown ink, brown black ink. So, the DelGuard pencil is obviously the shining feature of this Plus 2C, but I can't help but let you know about the Sarasa Select refills being able to go in it. Now this, so now this tip is for people who basically really like colorful gel ink. Sadly, the Sarasa Select refills are mostly being discontinued, at least for right now. I don't know if they're going to come out with an alternative. You can still get them for a while, so it's still a relevant hack. Or, some of you that were pre-fill or Sarasa Select fans might already have some Sarasa Select refills that you can try out. I just really wanted you to know about that hack because I love it. And then, again, of course, your DelGuard feature. and the DelGuard pencil unit in there is 0.5. So as far as the bounciness, the DelGuard 2C is, I would say, as bouncy as the standard. And then when you're using like the DelGuard GR, bounce is more controlled, like in the DelGuard LX and the DelGuard ER. Also very controlled with the bounce. So if you're somebody who really would like it less bouncy, you want to go for not the standard or the plus 2C, but the other three would be good. If you've never tried the DelGuard and you're super curious about it, you hate when lead breaks, if you're like me and you find it so distracting when you're writing and your lead breaks, just try the standard DelGuard, especially right now while it's only $5. It's like, you might as well try it. And then if you don't like it, you know, you can always share it with someone else, but I think everybody should at least try the DelGuard. It's a great feature for certain people. All right, so before we go away from the DelGuard plus 2C, this has an even different eraser. This takes the Eraser Refill J. The weight of it is 18.6 grams, so it is almost as heavy as your DelGuard LX, almost twice as heavy as your DelGuard Standard, much thicker, much thicker in the grip than almost all the others. Pretty comparable to that DelGuard GR. So if you were trying to decide between, say, the DelGuard plus 2C and the DelGuard GR, you want to ask yourself, do you care about having the pen feature built in, or do you care about having less bounce in your pencil? If you care more about the pen, go with the plus 2C. If you care more about less bounce, go with the GR. All right, hopefully this has helped you decide which GR would be best for you. If you are interested in a comparison video of the DelGuard and the Pilot Mogul-Lair, so the Mogul-Lair was developed to compete with the DelGuard. But yeah, if you're interested in like a comparison of that, let me know. I didn't really want to incorporate it into this video because they get so long. If you've made it to the end of this one, that probably means you enjoy listening to me talk about pencils forever. So might I recommend a video I did recently with Frank, super long. We talk about more than a dozen different models of Kudo Toga. So I'll link that video here for you. I will also be putting in cards to videos I did a long time ago of the DelGuard ER and GR when they came out. All right, as always, if you have any questions about the DelGuard or otherwise, or if you'd like to request a video, please leave those comments for me below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.